Good morning, John, and thanks for joining us. First of all, I want to say thank you for joining us here on Daybreak. It's a treat to have you with us.
Amy, how are you?
I'm good. That's a great-looking theater you got there.
Wow, spiffy.
Here we are. I bet people are like, why is he here again? John McGivern. Here we are. We're on the corner of Water and Wells at the historic PabstTheater. It's been around since 1895, which makes it 108 years old. Makes me feel really young. Today we're going to talk about a couple things. We're going to look at the architecture. We're going to go up to the gallery, which is the way up seats, which just had some reconstruction done because the seats were too small. I guess in the early 1900s, people's behinds were a little smaller, so they widened the seats.
What
a lot of beer and cheese since then, I guess, huh?
That's so wrong, but they had to do it. This is the first place. It kind of is.
Yeah.
Just take a look. This is the first place I ever came to as a kid. I was 10 years old. It was 1964, and my grandmother brought me here to see The Sound of Music. So I thought what I'll do a little later is do a couple numbers from The Sound of Music. I am 16 going on 17. I just look bad. Okay.
You're dreaming, okay, John? That's what you're doing.
I know I am. Well, Amy, thanks a lot. You're always very charming to me, aren't you?
Yeah, but you always make me laugh, John.
There you go.
You're going to throw a little Edelweiss in there,
Witt.
John?
Come on down, Mike. We'll do a little Edelweiss together. They'll be like, what is he doing?
Well, at least nobody's there to hear it, so it would be a good time for that, wouldn't it?
There we go. It'd be great. We're going to talk to Gary Witt, who is now running the place. If you've ever been to the corner at night now, there's a lot of activity going on in this building, a lot of programming. There's a range of ticket prices where everybody can show up here. It's a great thing going on at the Pabst, and I'm glad that they let us in today. And we're going to show you some stuff that they're going to be like, I can't believe you showed them that. Here we are with Gary Witt. Gary Witt is the executive director. He's the Mr. Pabst guy right now, and I thought we'd sit down and have a chat with him. And I thought what we'd do is sit down in those chairs where, you know, the behinds didn't fit. But I just wanted to ask Gary a few things. Gary took over, when did you come to the Pabst?
In August of last year.
And before you came, what was programming like here?
They did about, maybe a total of about 100 shows, 47 Christmas carols, and then 60 various rentals and things that would come into the theater through the year.
And so much is being programmed now. How many events will be here next?
Well, that's why we're here this early this morning. There'll be about 200 this year, we're hoping. So.
200. Mm-hmm. We're at the bar this morning having a little coffee just so my family knows.
Yeah, sure.
It better be.
Amy, we're making you a pina colada, girl. You want to come on in?
Sounds beautiful.
Let's take a seat. Take a look at these seats. This is what used to be here. And
oh, pretty narrow.
Oh, my goodness, John. Well, your little tushy barely fits in there.
Baby got back, okay? This is what they did back in the early 1900s, and they had no padding on them. So we're happy that what happened was that they refurbed and made some bigger seats. We'll spend a moment up there, probably in our next segment.
We should say in
Gary,
fairness.
I'm really glad you.
Well, John, I was just going to say in fairness, your tush is not wide at all.
No,
in fact, it's just that those people were very small.
Yeah. Amy?
Yes.
You're kind and charming in the morning. Yes, you are.
It's that pina colada.
There you go. They're mixing it up for you. So, most people know this place from Christmas Carol, which I've seen Christmas Carol here a couple times. And as Gary said, it's a run of how many shows generally for Christmas Carol?
Christmas Carol is going to be about 47 or 49 this year.
And that's presented and produced by the Milwaukee Rep.
It is, and they've got a new $1 million set, so it should be an amazing show this year.
Great. I was here 2 weeks ago to see Dar Williams, and if you take a look at any of the publications going out, you see that your new slogan is what?
Well, what's happening at the Pabst?
What's happening at the Pabst,
yeah.
And there's always something. And can you tell us a little bit about pricing? I know that when we talked earlier that the fact that everybody can get in here, and if somebody wants to come to an event that's produced by you guys, presented by you guys, that they'll get in.
Yeah, well, definitely. The prices vary and the performances vary because we've been trying to reach out into the community to be able to have performances that reached out into every segment, and every part of the community. You know, this weekend we had a smooth jazz show. We've got a performance called Soundstage coming up this week. That's a 17-foot metronome on stage that they build, and it's kind of a performance piece for the family and for kids and adults. And then we've got, after that, a great jazz show coming up on May 31st with Birds of a Feather with Roy Haynes on drums. And then a great world show after that called Orchestra Baobab with an amazing world group from Senegal who hasn't toured for 17 years. And then Todd Rundgren, solo. Did I say Todd Rundgren?
I think you just did.
Solo acoustic performance. So in other words, really the performances reach out across, hopefully what everybody in the city of Milwaukee would like to see. And the ticket prices are affordable, including the gallery seats.
Which we're sitting in right now. Comfortably.
Well, not so comfortably.
I'm comfortable. Yeah. Stay with us, and we'll come back. You know, we're up in the gallery, which is the like the second balcony. We're really close to everything. All the architecture. We're really close to the chandelier, which is incredible. What's really amazing is that this place was built in 1895, and it was built in 6 months, which is kind of amazing for a building at that time. We're here with Chris Stravinsky, who's the marketing manager, marketing director, and there's a story about the chandelier, which is how they take care of it. What do they do with this thing, Chris?
Well, once a year, they lower it down to the orchestra seats, and volunteers come in with cotton cloths and polish every single crystal individually. It's about a 3-day affair, and a lot of volunteers come in, and that's why it looks so gorgeous.
I can't believe I've missed that in the past. I just can't believe it. It's great, and there's got to be thousands of crystals in that thing.
Thousands.
It's beautiful.
I have to find out how many there are. I don't know.
And being up here in the gallery, you're so close to all of the architecture. It's really quite amazing. And this was all done in 1895. And how often is it refurbed, and how often do you have to take time to spruce it up?
Well, it was renovated in '75, and then they just finished a renovation in '99, and we just keep it nice and clean.
Good. And this is the place where they had to where they did a lot of the major reconstruction, because this had a slope to it where it felt like you were sitting on a hill and ready to just go. So as you can see, they fixed the slope. They took out a little over 100 seats where they lost some seats, but they made it a lot more comfortable and quite an experience to be able to see a show here and from all the way up this way. This is great. We're going to be back, and I'm going to go back to you guys. We're leaving. We're going on the street here in front of the Pabst, and this is such an incredibly familiar thing to me here on Water Street, because as a kid, we would come down to this area in front of the Pabst, in fact. You know, I did the show Sheer Menace, and we had this guy who played the cop in Sheer Menace. His name was Chris. He was from Boston, never been to Milwaukee before, and he came into the dressing room last July 2nd, and he said, "What is going on out on the street on Water?" And I said, "I don't know. What are you talking about?" He says, you don't know what's going on? This is what was going on. Let me show you. You're right. People were tying their lawn chairs to the street signs, to the parking meters.
It was July, wasn't it?
Waiting for the 4th of July parade.
And what's a cop to do?
The cops were gone. What I always say is that I want to live in a town. I want to say that I'm from a town where 2 days before a parade, you can tie your lawn chair to the post, tie your lawn chair to the parking meter. 2 days later, show up and sit down, and people behind you say, "Oh, next year I'm going to do that."
It's a weird thing, isn't it, John?
Isn't it a strange thing?
Was it for the 4th of July parade, or was it for the circus parade, John? I mean, there's a lot of.
Oh yeah, it was for the circus parade.
Yeah, okay.
and people tied it, and they show up later, and there they sit, and that's my Milwaukee zone. Look what's happened here. Excuse me, sir.
Somebody took your chair, John.
they took the chair. How are you? This is Bob Zannoni. Bob Zannoni is the technical director at the Pabst, and he said, "It's my chair now." And take a look. I'm not going to say a word. Okay, Bob.
Bob can have the chair.
I'm great.
Good. Thanks so much for letting us in today, and thanks for all your help.
Oh, no problem at all.
Did you have a good time?
Had a fabulous time.
What do you like most about me?
Your looks.
Okay, there you go. Back to you guys. We'll see you again tomorrow.
You are.